How's it going, guys? Got another Total Warhammer 3 game. Again, playing as the Dark Elves because, as I just expressed, what I'm really trying to learn this race. Really enjoying the sort of niche applications they've got to certain factions. This was just a 2v2 map that come up. I do quite often look for sort of like the custom lobbies. I'm quite partial to a 2v2 or even a 3v3, as long as it's not lagging through the earth. So, team-wise, I've got a Demons of Chaos ally, and thinking back to it, I'm pretty sure he's using a Demon Prince and also a Lord of Change. Going against Wood Elves and Kislev, obviously loading and you don't really know what your opponent's going to bring. I had the assumption that we might get some Treekin from the Wood Elf, and then possibly some Bear Riders from the Kislev factions. What we did end up getting is Treekin, both Dryads, Durfu, and then just sort of Blade Singers, Eternal Guard, Glade Guard. Personally, in my opinion, they didn't really complement each other too well on their armies. You know, you take a look, I'm just going to pause the replay there so we don't miss anything. The Kislev player went full Zargard, Armoured Kossars, really invested in that elite infantry. Topped it off with a Little Grom, a Frost Maiden of Ice on a bear, and then also Costolton on a bear and 2 Snow Leopards. Whereas the Wood Elf went for this really sort of heavy Dryad force, but no real heavy damage dealers. I mean, possibly Durfu could have been a big damage dealer, but I've not had much experience with him, so I can't really say where his strength lies and how strong he is currently. So my ally went triple Plague Toads of Nurgle, followed up by Chaos Furies, a Beast of Nurgle, some Blue Horrors of Tzeentch, Exalted Pinks, some more Blue Horrors. We've got a adjacent Horror of Tzeentch on a disc, and as I did say, Lord of Change and Red Ulgor. Not just any old Demon Prince. Now, going into this, I did take the assumption that we might be seeing some bigger units. I brought 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers because I thought they might sort of benefit from this. I was hoping if they had Waystalkers or something like this, it would have given the option to shoot them from a range and possibly do some damage. I brought 2 squads of Blackguards of Nagarond. Absolutely love them. They were literally just for the possibility of Bear Riders, Tree Men, even Elemental Bear. Absolutely love those units. Triple Bleak Swords at the front, just for sort of chaff to keep the front busy. The Reaper Bolt Throwers from the get-go, just putting a little bit of shots into Eternal Guard. 2 Dark Shards with shields, and let's go and wait for the Supreme Sorceress with Dark Magic. I'm going to see what sort of value I can accrue on her. The Raven Heralds, just again, I like to use them just for a little bit of cover and fire. And a unit I did say I was going to have a little bit of game playing with, and that's the Siren of Red Ruin. I'm hoping we can get some work done on her. And this is quite a good game, very close. It does really come down to the teeth. So straight away, I notice there's a bit of a bulk here. So I'm just going to go in there and try and sort of take abuse of the situation, drop an early Soul Steal. You know, I hit Treekin, I hit the Race of the Frozen Heart, and I hit Durfu. You know, so already off that one cost. We're scaling up 300 gold. We'll have a look again once it's finished ticking. I think that's it, finished ticking. Yeah, about 338 gold off that one cast. So he is obviously fully alpha striked his Chaos Furies in there. Whereas I'm moving my lines up. I'm just trying to put some shots in these Armoured Kossars. Obviously we'd have Armour Piercing Missiles and the Raven Heralds. And then I try to look for a few more better targets. He's not doing the best job at moving his Little Grom around. Obviously the bonus that Little Grom has. A nice Doom Bolt there. The bonus that Little Grom has is the fact that he's so mobile. I've been able to really sort of get those Reapers up and start really chipping away at him. I did expect these, the Lost Silver Knights, another reason to bring the Blackguard of Nagarond. I was a little bit lacking with getting his Blackguard up there, if I'm honest. I held them really quite a bit too late. They'd have been perfect in this fight up here against Durfu. But they're coming up to deal with the Stag Knights. I've got some Hellbro now spears at the back. Again, I was just waiting because I expected a sort of vanguard from, you know, both of these factions have access to some really good cavalry. So, you know, we're moving up. The Bleak Swords are going to get absolutely massacred against Zargard. But I just thought I'd buy some time, get some shooting up there. I took a little bit of damage on my Supreme Sorceress, but, you know, she's still casting up to 700 gold. When you think they're not especially that expensive, especially because I've only put her on the Dark Pegasus. I haven't invested in the Dragon or the Manticore. I didn't expect to use her to fight that much, if I'm honest. Purely just using her to cast magic. And the Dark Pegasus I thought would just give her that extra mobility to move around the map. So I'll start moving both squads of Blackguard and Nagarand up here to start dealing with the Treekin, Dryads, Durfu. I just thought I could really benefit from getting these units up there. We're dealing with the large units. So we've actually pushed those armoured Cossairs off. My ally was really sort of careful. My enemy, sorry, was really careful with these snow leopards. I don't know if he was careful or if he just left them there for, you know, 4 minutes and they just did nothing. But, you know, we're getting another caster. Here, another Soul Stealer, is it? No, a Blades. And you know, it's sadly it did go the wrong way. The Siren of the Red Throne, I've not really paid attention to her, but she's doing work. Obviously, she went in there using her ability. For those that don't know, she has the Whale of Malice. Just does a good amount of damage around her. So this is where the Zargard are really starting to push through. You know, I really haven't got... Obviously, the Blackguards would do okay damage to them. You know, they're armoured, armour piercing. So they are going to do decent damage. And obviously, the Silver Knights got back. But luckily I was able to send the Dread Spears through just to tie these Zargard and get them off my I was going to say catapults there, Reaper Bolt Throwers. So, again, the Raven Heralds, they're starting to run out of ammunition. Not a massive amount of value on these guys. I thought they'd do a little bit better. But really I'm just sort of flying around the map. I'm putting most of my macro on my Supreme Sorceress because I'm really trying to get as many spell casts off as possible. I know that's where the big value is. But I mean, we are continuing to push back at them. We've done alright damage to the Snow Leopard. I am trying to push these Zargard off. They were out of ammunition, the Reaper Heralds, so Raven Heralds, so I'm just hoping to use them just to buy me a little bit of time. So he does manage to push back, but at this rate, you know, I've been putting shots into Stolton. He's going to run here, but the Hellbrunner, I've got those, they're anti-large, and I'm about to pull my Dark Shards back off and then hopefully fire through. But you know, we're up to 80 kills on the Supreme Sorceress, you know, 1600 gold, nearing what she cost me if I'm honest, and she's still got so much more to give. Again, I'm getting some rallying troops from going up for the Zargard. I didn't expect the Zargard. Some Hageneth Executioners in this build would have been really quite good. Even maybe some Sisters of Slaughter, possibly. The Reaper Bolt Throwers, you know, they've done 1600 and 900, so one's paid more than by itself, by about double, and the other one's just covered itself. But, you know, we are getting out into the sort of later... Again, I've pushed the Wood Elves off here completely, you know. The Blackguard of Nagarond were going to take no prisoners when it came to the Treekin and Durfu, absolutely chopping through them. They're one of the infantry units that actually I've found quite a lot of success with and I'm quite enjoying using. They're quite strong units. What am I going for here? I assume it's going to be another Soul Stealer. But where does it go? See, I am being sniped. He's trying his hardest to snipe me that Waystalker. Obviously don't get a spell off and I'll back off. Because the Reaper Bolt Throwers are doing a cracking job of chopping through sort of their last bits of resistance. So ideally what I'm trying to do here, for anyone wondering why I'm doing so much posturing, moving around, is I've got enough for a Soul Stealer, but I am trying to wait until both Leopards are on top of Constantine, and then that way I'll be able to catch all of them with the Soul Stealer. So this Soul Stealer here, complete and utter waste. You know, they're breaking the artillery, he's killing them. I mean, it's okay to get a little bit of HP back, but it didn't really. It would have been better if I say caught both Snow Leopards. Would have been a lot more useful. I'm pretty sure I've used both of the Power of Darkness at this point. So I'm not going to be murdering myself any more than what I am. So I know he's obviously trying to create a little bit of a goon squad with sort of what he's got left, which is one squad of Zargard, 2 Snow Leopards and his Lord. Obviously he's having an issue with the fact that the Iridescent Horror is just constantly chasing him around, spamming. And I mean, you look at the spells he's took: blue fire, pink fire, obviously he's got his Locust. He is just constantly hitting him with those blue fires. I think I've seen him use them an ungodly amount of times. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's quite a cool looking dude up on his dish. It's the one thing gotta say about Total War is they've made some absolutely cracking models. Some of them looking even better and giving inspiration that when Fantasy does come back to tabletop, we should really get some beautiful models come out of it. So I'm using the sort of last remaining ammunition. I think I'm down to 6 shots on that, none on that. Just to try and chip away. So there's another flame hitting him. And at this point I'm just sort of, you know, I managed to get a Soul Stealer off there. I thought it was quite good that I managed to hit the Zargard. Managed to hit obviously the Lord and 1 Snow Leopard. Sadly I didn't hit the second. But it's quite a fair amount of damage. I mean, she's back up to 2,900 HP, and she's running at 2,305 in value, so something I can't complain about. This is an absolutely losing fault. This is my fault for, I guess, underestimating the Waste Stalker. I thought I would be able to break her here and get rid of her. But she manages to come back quite a bit. So you've got this constant chase, and let's speed this up a little bit to save you constantly having to watch this. So I am just at the moment, he realises he can't keep taking his spells to the face. You know, he's taking a lot of damage. I don't know how his reserves are doing, but I don't think it's an overly expensive spell at 6. So it's not like Soul Stealer at 16. Last artillery shot, or 3 more actually, just clipping him. You know, we're just trying to get what damage we can. Speed up again, he hides in the bushes. I try and break this squad as soon as possible because I didn't really want to deal with them. Obviously the Blackguard and Nagaron are actually going to work them. And then I was hoping for this, and he is split up to try and go for the artillery, which I'm not too mad about because the artillery at this moment is absolutely useless. It's got no ammunition, and instantly I break one of the Snow Leopards. So I know my time just got a lot easier. Obviously he's going to go in again here, but I'm just going to charge him. Personally, I don't like to do this constant charging. If I'm playing a force where I've got sort of 3 units left, I'll just straight up fight to the end. I think it wastes a lot of players' time, especially in these sort of odds. You know, he can't get through both squads of Blackguard and Nagaron. They're actually going to destroy both the Leopardess and, you know, his Lord. They're both large units. And we hit him with 1 more bolt. I didn't have enough for any other spell. I didn't bring all the spells. I only brought sort of Power of Darkness, Soul Stealer, Doom Bolt and Blade Wind. Word of Pain. And that's everything that you see there. So let's just have a little look over what sort of units did and what I would change given the chance. Personally, if you look at this Wood Elf army, even though I'm not a massive Wood Elf player myself, personally I probably would have gone a bit, maybe got rid of the Tree Kin and possibly upgraded your Glade Guard for a bit better archers. I think if they had a bit more ranged firepower, they would have really been able to chop through them. Now, my army personally, I mean, you look, it did nearly 3,000 gold, which I think is just under double of what she cost, so she was well enough to pay for herself. I really am appreciating the lords that aren't legendary within the Dark Elf roster, because they still put in absolute work. Now, this unit that I misplayed this unit massively, not realising sort of what best to put her in and stuff like that, and she did absolute work. I think I'm definitely going to use her a little bit more and see where I can really benefit. You know, the Blackguard, 1,500 gold on that one, 2,500 on that one, really did work. These Raven Heralds I didn't manage on the best, so they really sort of slacked. And the Dark Shards, they did okay. The Bleak Swords I'll bring them purely just to hold the line on chaff units, and they did the job. And obviously on the Root Claw Bolt Flowers, a real good sort of turnout. Let's see how much damage we did. 2,756. His Red Ulgor didn't really put the work in. His Lord of Change got absolutely worked. I think it's definitely safe to say that my ally had a real problem keeping his lords alive. Right, thank you for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one that comes out tomorrow.